congratulate you and to thank you all for that wonderful program. You all do remember, don't you? All you beautiful teenagers. Well, I remember, and I'm thankful that Sister North had invited me. Thank you very much for the work that you do here at the congregation. And some of you, I remember when you were small children. You all may not remember me, but I remember you all as small children. Moving forward today, I'm supposed to say a few little words, and I thank the adults for supporting the young people. Because the last statement that I saw on that video was that we, and I'm paraphrasing, we have come so far, but we still have a long ways to go. And every day that you step out of your home to do whatever it is that you do, you are making history. You always remember, you are making history. I want you all to remember to always keep your personal life clean. Because if you decide that you want to be involved in any kind of program, the first thing people are going to look at is how you have lived your life. If you do things that are negative when your young years, when you decide that you want to do something positive in your older years, all of that you've done that was negative is going to be put before you and everyone else. So always remember to keep your personal life clean, straight, or however you want to put it. As a freedom rider, there were a couple of things that made me decide to become a freedom rider. Number one was they bombed that bus in Anniston, Alabama. When they bombed that bus, I decided right then and there that I was going to start traveling on the buses down south. I was a student my first year at the time it was A&I, but now it's called TSU. I was a freshman. And I didn't know anything about what was going on in downtown Nashville. Because the way I was raised, I was to get on that bus from East Nashville, go to school at A&I, get back on that bus, and come back home to East Nashville. I didn't look at the news. I was not interested in what was going on. So another point I want to say to you, always look at the news program at least 5 or 10 minutes every day. If you're not already doing that, please look at the news program so you'll be aware of a lot of things that are going on. At that one particular day, a young man came up to me as I stepped off the bus to take my classes. And he showed me a program that they had, and what they were talking about, the flyers, or what was going on in downtown Nashville. See, I didn't know they were sitting in at that time or standing in. But one of the things that you had to decide within yourself is that you could be nonviolent. Regardless of what anyone done or said to you, you could not retaliate. Retaliate would have caused you to be harmed, maybe killed, or those around you. Because those segregationists only wanted one thing to do, and that was to harm you. I had to go through training to see if I could be nonviolent. Of course, I could be nonviolent at the time. And the first things that I did after I had gone through training was the theaters downtown in Nashville, Tennessee. And I would just fast forward. I demonstrated in front of the theater. Then when it came time to do the freedom ride, we had to train again for that as to what we were going to do. So finally, I I was on the bus headed to, and I don't remember everything, I'm telling you that right now. I'm almost 81, and everything that happened, I can't, some of it is blocked. But anyway, was headed to Montgomery, is where we were going. We were going Birmingham, Montgomery to Mississippi. Well, we were stopped in Birmingham. When we got to Birmingham, at the bus station, we were trying to get off of the bus to go into the area. We were beaten. They would beat you with anything they could put their hands on, even to an empty milk cart. Even tried to teach their children to spit on you. So we went through those things. We got into the bus terminal. They could not find a bus driver to take us to Montgomery. So we ended up spending the night in the bus terminal in Birmingham. The next day, our president got involved. At that time, the president was Kennedy. And sometimes when you see things happening, it takes a life sometimes for others to move or to get anything done. It takes a life. And I'm sure some of you have read about some of the lives that have been taken in order for us to move forward in any way. So once Kennedy got involved, they did find a bus driver to take us to Montgomery. But they used a lot of negative terms, and I don't really want to use all of those terms, but you know, one is the N-word. That N-word is not going away, and it will never go away until God comes back. We all had faith in God, and we believed that what we were doing was the right thing to do. And that was one of the things that pushed us forward, is knowing that we were doing the right thing, but we had to show other people who disagree with us the right thing that should have been done. And remember, it's not over yet, but we are moving forward. So after all of the things that happened in Birmingham, the beatings, the chatting, and always the police were on the right outside watching everything that was going on. But they would not step up to break up the crowds or anything. They would let them do what they wanted to do to us, and then all of a sudden they step up like, oh, I came to save the day. That's the way it was. And everywhere we went, they knew that we were on our way there. They even looked into the backgrounds of our families. If there was anything that some member of our family had done was against the law, they bring that up and use that against us. Always. They knew who we were. They knew who our family was. They knew everything about us. So remember, you may think that the things that you do that are positive or negative, if no one ever says anything to you about it, then it's forgotten, but it'll never ever be forgotten. So anyway, after all of that, and then they brought in the state troopers to carry us from Birmingham to Montgomery. The state troopers, they had a few on the bus, they had them flying over, and they had some patrol cars following us to Montgomery. But about 15 miles outside of Montgomery, everything disappeared. Why did they disappear? So the segregationists could do whatever they wanted to do to us. And they caused great harm to some. I was one that I was not harmed, but they caused great harm to many of the freedom riders. Some of them never got over the trauma, and some of us are still living with the trauma of what happened back then. So whatever you see, whatever you do, appreciate the good things. Appreciate when you walk in a restaurant and sit down and eat. because there were others that were before you that did not have that privilege without getting beat, cigarettes put out on them, liquor poured on them, spit in the face. When you go to a hotel, when you are the youth groups, when you get together and decide you're going to visit, when you walk in that hotel, think about the people who came before you that were not able to spend a night in a decent hotel. Also, think about the people, and I'm getting ready to stop, the people before you, because I call myself a link in the chain. But there were so many people before me, before I was ever heard of, that fought for freedom, fought to have the privilege to do the things that they wanted to do. And you all have that privilege, but we're still not there. You don't have to go up back steps in order to go up and watch a movie. You walk to the front door. You don't have to go around to the back of the Crystal or any of the restaurants that are out there now and ask for a sandwich with your money that you're paying them, like the patrons are paying in the front, but they're putting your sandwich or whatever in a bag and handing it to you out the door, and you're walking down the street with a greasy sack eating your hamburger or your chicken fingers. You don't have to do those things anymore. But if you don't watch out, the powers that be would love to see us go back to that. Because hate is always going to be there until the Lord comes back. But we have to still move forward. When I got to Birmingham, Montgomery, then I got the sad news, me and some of the other students that were in college, that we were going to be put out of school. And the law that Joe Morgan used here in Nashville was a law that they were attempting to use for the demonstrators downtown Nashville. It was called the breach of peace. The breach of peace is what they used in order to dismiss us from whatever school, but basically Tennessee State, which was A&I at the time. Eventually, we were able to fight that law and to get it changed. And it was not our teachers and educators at A&I. It was the people above them that passed rules down to them, and then they had to use those rules against us. Always remember, you'll never know all the people that helped us. There are people right here in Nashville that have passed on, that silently helped us with money, helped us with food, helped us with transportation. But they did not make it known because of fear of harm coming to their families or losing their jobs, etc. So whenever you think about those people that were on the front line, there were people in the background, but they were really on the front line too. So I'll stop right there. Thank you for having me. Oh, I got a bag.
Ma'am, this is just a small token of appreciation from us.
Thank you very
For
much.
the
It's
cutting out here.
heavy.
Yes, ma'am. It must be
There
something
must
good in
be
there.
something in here. Thank you so much.
You welcome.
And I hope I said enough to give you a background, because what I really would like for you to do is to read. You got all you need is what's in your hand. Everybody has one, I'm sure, most of you young people. Just read. Choose a name. You saw names on the board, you heard names called. Just choose one name, and that name is going to lead you to someone else.